Okay, what I'm going to show you now is proper grip. I'm also going to talk to you about the proper posture it's set up, alignment, body angles, how you should look over the golf ball. So the importance of having a good grip dramatically encourages what your club face is doing. The only physical connection we have to the golf club is how we hold it. So when you're hitting golf shots and watching the ball fly, it's screaming back information at you. If a lot of you hit the ball and the curve's way to the right, pretty guaranteed your club face is open when you're striking the golf ball. If you're hitting the golf ball and it's curving way to the left, pretty much guaranteed when you're striking it, the club face is closed. As far as your posture goes, the body angles you create at setup dramatically dictate what you can and cannot do in your golf swing. So if you don't have good angles at setup or good alignments, it's going to be tough to play. So I'm going to show you how to hold the club properly and how to set up properly. Okay, what I'm going to show you now is how to properly hold the golf club. Now I can't lie and say there's one correct grip for all golfers. But what I'm going to explain to you is what I consider to be a fairly neutral grip, what I consider to be a strong grip, and what I consider to be a weak grip. You may change your grip periodically depending on the results you're getting, either A, with the Slinger or when you're out playing golf. As far as grip goes, the way you hold the club is going to really encourage or influence what the club face is doing while you're swinging. So for instance, if you're a huge slicer of the ball, every shot you hit curves quite a bit to the right of the target, your grip could be too weak. In that case, I would recommend strengthening your grip. If you're hitting golf shots and your golf ball's curving dramatically to the left, your grip could be considered too strong. So we might have you try and weaken it a little bit. So I'll run you through all three. Okay, starting out with what we see most commonly, an extremely weak grip. Okay, a lot of times golfers using what we call a very weak grip, they're going to fight losing the ball to the right, and they're not going to be hitting it very far. So shots to the right, tremendous power loss. Okay, so a weak grip is going to be club more towards your palm, thumb going pretty much right down the center of the shaft, and you'll notice my thumb and my first finger, they form a little pocket here, or a little line. As instructors, we call these V's. A weak grip, we're going to notice that that line, or V, is actually going up towards the golfer's left shoulder. Okay? And same thing with the right hand. Hand turned much too much over onto the top, the same line, that V or that line, pointing over towards the left shoulder. Now again, what this grip is going to cause, because it's on there in such a weak manner, I don't have much leverage at all to do anything with the club face. My hand is so turned to the left before I swing, that's about all I can move it. That doesn't really influence the face very much at all. So a lot of times people are going to be slicing that way. So again, weak grip, this is very weak. V is going to point more towards your left shoulder, right hand over here on top too much, pointing over at your left shoulder. Okay, if we neutralize this a little bit, I'll show you what I consider to be pretty neutral. So if I open up my hand, I'm going to move it from my palm, which most weak grippers do, and I'm going to place it more in my fingers. A good image for how to hold it in your fingers is just imagine you're going to pick up a pail of water or a bucket of water, how you'll tend to kind of reach and grab the handle. Most people don't roll under and grab with their palm, they'll just kind of pick it up with their fingers. So in a good grip, you want to hold the club down in your fingers. The top part of your hand is not going to go, the thumb's not going to go right down the center. The top part of your hand, you're going to rotate over to the right just slightly, or we'll say your left thumb is pointed 12:30 or 1 o'clock. So you notice now when I grip it in this position, which I consider to be pretty neutral, my thumb and forefinger, that same line or V I create, is now pointed up towards my chin or a little bit to the right of the chin. Okay, so we want those V's going just a little bit right of your chin. We'll say between your chin and your right shoulder. Another good checkpoint, other than that, is when I look down, I can only make out the top two or the first two knuckles of my left hand. Okay, so if I hold the club very weakly in my palm, I won't be able to see any of my top knuckles. If I grip it in my fingers a little bit more, turn my hand slightly more to the right, I can start to see a couple knuckles. All right, same thing with the right hand. When I bring my right hand on the club in a neutral fashion, I want to hold the club down in my fingers. Okay, if I fold my right hand together, you'll notice you make a little pocket there. That's where that left thumb is going to fit in. Okay, so in my fingers, left thumb fits right in the little pocket of my right hand. And again, both V's pointing up towards my right shoulder. Okay, so the last possible grip option, again we see this a lot with mid to higher handicappers, is what we call an extremely strong grip. So strong grip, one good thing about it is typically the player is in their fingers, but they're going to have their hand rotated way too far to the right, exposing all four knuckles. The V, or that line that's created between your thumb and forefinger, is going to point below your right shoulder. Extremely strong grip. A lot of times people holding it like this are going to be fighting really low shots, hard time getting it up in the air, and hooks. So strong left hand. To match that with the right hand, again, my right hand's going to be turned way under the club. That line or V formed between my thumb and forefinger facing well below or to the right or below my right shoulder. Okay, so again, this here is going to tend to, this gives you a lot of leverage. So if you're really slicing the ball, this is a good way to start, because you'll notice the stronger I grip it, I have a lot of ability to manipulate that club face in a closing manner. So that's where the grip can kind of benefit you. If you're hitting low shots, hooking it too much, I'd back off this. I'd try and look more at my neutral demonstration and hold it like that. If you're slicing the ball big time, I'd probably go a little stronger and try and hit some shots with this grip. All right? Now, as far as connecting your hands go, whatever grip option you choose, whether you're weaker, neutral, or strong, there's a couple different things you can do with the connection between your right and left hand, meaning the connection between the pinky and the first finger of the left hand. The two most common ones you hear a lot are interlocking the first finger of the left hand and the pinky of the right hand, grip used by Tiger Woods. So that's when you slide them together and interlock them. Honestly, the most common grip that you'll see on both the PGA and the LPGA tours is what we call an overlapping grip, where the pinky just rests right in between the first and second finger of the left hand in an overlapping manner. The third option, another useful option, is what we call a 10-finger grip. Claude Harmon won the Masters using a 10-finger grip. Beth Daniel played for years on the LPGA Tour using a 10-finger grip. So this is acceptable. All right, so you got interlock, that's a way to connect the hands, overlap, or 10-finger. Generally speaking, I would say people with smaller hands are going to do better either going 10-finger or interlocking. If you have bigger hands, you're probably going to feel a little bit better using an overlapping grip. But you can try all three. It's not something set in stone. There's no right or wrong way to connect your pinky to your forefinger. All right, so again, there's three different types of grips: weak, neutral, strong. The weaker the grip tends to kind of slow down the closing of the face, so it could help somebody who's hitting big hooks. Stronger the grip could help speed up closing that face, could help somebody who's hitting big slices. Okay, how you grip the club is going to dramatically influence how the ball comes out of the slinger.